And joining us live from the Hoosier Dome is Lance McAlister, who is doing the play-by-play on WSBT 960 AM. Lance, first of all, do you have your breath?
Terry, I can attest to the fact it just ended. I hurdled 4 flights of stairs, and I'm here. It is over. Unfortunately, it ends in heartbreak for the Penn Kingsmen, beaten this afternoon just minutes ago by the Carmel Greyhounds, a final of 10-7. It went right down to the wire. What a way to lose a football game. Penn punting with about a minute to go, punted to Carmel. Ron Herman returned it 45 yards down to the 5. They worked the time down, and then with 4 seconds left, let's take a look at it. Kent Miller was called on by Jim Bell of the Hounds. He was 1 of 7 in field goals this year, but this one was a chip shot, nothing more than an extra point. It split the upright, and this is the winner. Carmel wins an unprecedented 5th state championship in high school football and ends the Kingsmen season at 13-1. Pandemonium broke out on the field for Carmel. Obviously a tough loss for the Kingsmen. They went in #1 in the state, 13-0, but it ends today at the Dome as Jim Belton and the Carmel Greyhounds beat Chris Giesman and the Penn Kingsmen, a final of 10-7. I'll have highlights and post-game plus a whole lot more sports tonight at 11.
Okay, Lance, thank you very much.
20,000 fans watched a turnover-dominated first quarter, 2 by each team, but neither defense broke until midway through the second. That's when Penn's Jeremy Lowry strings together an 18-yard run with this 60-yard burst down the sidelines, and just like that, Penn had drawn first blood to lead 7-0. From there, Penn's wild bunch defense put the clamps on Carmel's rushing attack, allowing just 44 first-half yards, and they went to the locker room holding a 7-0 lead. Third quarter, the Greyhound D gets riled up, forces Penn's 4th turnover over the afternoon. Jeremy Lowry gets leveled, coughs up the football. Carmel recovered, and they went to work. Chris Giesman knew turnovers would eventually kill him, and this one did. 8 plays later, Phil Reimer, quarterback, will roll out, look, and scrambling find Eric Larson in the end zone, the 15-yard score. We are tied at 7. The battle waged on. 4 minutes to go in the 4th. Carmel knocking on the door at Penn's 29, but picked off. Reimer intercepted by John Pletcher at the 6, but 3 Kingsman plays netted just 6 yards. They were forced to punt the football, and after being bottled up all afternoon, Phil Reimer found the wall on the far sidelines and raced 43 yards down the sidelines all the way to Penn's 4, and with just over a minute to go, Carmel was in position to win it. Carmel then ran 2 plays, ticked the clock down to 4 seconds, and called on Kent Miller. The snap was low, but the hold and the kick was good. In a dramatic fashion, Carmel wins a state record 5th state title and leaves Penn stunned and closes the book on a 13-1 Kingsman season. Final, Carmel 10, Penn 7.
So much for game plans. We came down here to play a conservative game, not put our defense in any trouble. All we did was have a
chilly night for football here in Lafayette, but 2 red-hot football teams. Penn Kingsman 11-0 with a defense that has yet to surrender a point in the postseason, while the Broncos 7-4 with an offense averaging 35 points a game in their last 8 games. We're joined by Chris Giesman, head coach of the Penn Kingsmen. And Chris, you take a look at their team, big play, wide-open offense. Tell me about it.
Well, they're a big play team, and the special problem they present is the great rushing and the great passing. Around 1,600 yards, twice as many touchdowns as interceptions, 2 big-time prospects, quarterback, wide receiver. And they also have dot in the I, 1,000-yard rusher, and that's a yardstick by which you judge the great rushers is 1,000 yards. So they've got everything, and we're going to have our hands full.
Bob Downing has said he maybe wants to throw a curve at you, pass more than the teams you're used to seeing. Did you make any changes this week?
Well, you know, we've seen some passing teams in our conference. Mishawaka passed for 285 yards. You can't do much better than that. So, you know, no, we've got a few little change-ups, but we're just going to have to play good, sound defense. That's what it's all about. Defensively,
they want to make you throw the football. At least that's what they're saying. But, boy, with John Griman's done, you got to feel good doing that.
Well, you know, we'd like to be able to run the football, but I have all the confidence in the world in Brian Griman. If, you know, we usually try to take what the defense gives to us. I just hope that, you know, our defense can hold in the first couple of series while we probe, find out what we can do. Hey, how about these fans? They stampeded in. Another good following. Yeah, they were down here at noon today. All right, Coach, good luck to you. Thank you. Chris Giesman, head coach of the top-ranked Penn Kingsmen, in a battle tonight with 7-4 Lafayette. Jeff, we'll have the game on radio, AM 960, beginning at 7:15. Highlights tonight with you, Charlie, at 11. It's the 4th inning here on the corner of Kenmore and Waveland, just outside of Wrigley, and hope is long since gone of finding a ticket for this one. But for the true diehard Cub fans, where there's a will to see this game, there's a way, a lot of ways.
How about a rooftop view where some landlords were asking as much as $50 a seat? These two scrapped that idea and headed the creative route with a power lift. Unfortunately, the men in blue had other ideas, and it was time to move on. But move on they did, 2 blocks down the street to an alley.
Actually, they told me over there it was creative, but they couldn't let me stay.
What's the view like?
I barely can see home plate, but hey, it's better than a $150 ticket.
Still others pulled up a street corner chair, watched, and prepared for another game, ball hawking, chasing down the home run balls. How'd you come up with this idea?
It's not original. 31 years I've been out here doing this. I'm a ball hawk. We're, most of us guys out here, we're regulars. This is our hobby.
Mo Mullen's numbers are impressive.
You're not going to believe it. I got 1,838 baseballs. No. Yes.
But there's always the one that got away, like Andre Dawson's blast 2 weeks ago.
I was like 6 inches from picking it up like an idiot. I'm going to use my glove. Neil White came into that pile and grabbed it barehanded. Did the famous, Ron Santo imitation, and I was up in the booth. The guy gets 1 home run, and he goes in the booth. We've been out here all our lives, We've never been in the booth. Give us a break.
This guy hopes for a break with his home run snatcher, created with tickets in mind.
If you've never owned a league ball, it's worth a Cubs playoff ticket. It's great to have. There's a lot of energy in one of them balls, and they're more than worth a Cubs playoff ticket.
Game 2 is tonight, and you can bet they'll be right back at it.
And we'll be here bright and early, plus I want my prime spot.
Reporting from just outside Wrigley, Lance McAlister, WSBT Eyewitness Sports. Some say she's the best high school volleyball player in not only the state, but the country. Now, that may be debatable, but there's no debating what makes Caren Zielinski special.
She is known for her outstanding hitting, but I think what people don't realize is that she plays the entire game, every 15 points. If she's not passing the ball, she's serving well. If she's not serving, she's digging the ball, she covers. She just does everything I need her to do. She's just a total all-around player that every coach dreams of having.
Of all the players I've coached, she's by far the best all-around skilled. I've had players that were taller, players that were better setters, but as far as being an all-around player, she is very solid.
Her specialties have caught the eyes of recruiters from Florida to Texas to Kentucky. Despite the visits, the phone calls, and the letters, Caren keeps it all in perspective.
It really hasn't been that bad. I learned to do my homework and talk to the coaches, and I have my priorities set.
And she's a hot property. The Reebok All-American last year that she got is a very important award, and that definitely opened some doors for her.
I've been to California and seen the top-ranked teams, and I know that she could play with any team in the country right now.
Caren says her success boils down to intensity.
I think teams get the impression that I'm cocky, but I think that is one of the reasons that I'm as good as I am, because, I feel that you have to be somewhat intense, and I have fun when I play, but I'm very intense.
For those still willing to debate how good Caren Zielinski is, here's some closing arguments.
If you had a few of her, you could probably never lose. That's the good point about her.
I wouldn't want to play with anybody else. I'd hate to play against her.
15 years ago, Rick Wolf gave up on a dream, and he walked away from America's favorite pastime. But for the past 3 days, he's relived the dream, and he's had the time of his life.
It's sort of like Christmas, Walt Disney World, my birthday all come true in one fell swoop. It's been a tremendous amount of fun. Anybody who's my age would love this opportunity.
The dream hit home Thursday night, a base hit.
You take all those movies like The Natural and Fields of Dreams and all those others, put them together, and that's what it was like. It's like this scene where you can hit the ball and it goes out like in slow motion kind of stuff, That it was like. It was terrific. Just a great feeling.
Meanwhile, in the field, he played second.
About the glove work, how's that going? Well, one play last night, the ball literally went through my glove. That glove is older than most of these players out here. And I thought I had the ball, and it went right through, broke a string in my webbing, and I got it fixed during the innings. But otherwise, no problem.
Playing second base meant replacing Cesar Bernhardt. How's he taking this?
He realizes he's lost his job to me. He's packed his bag. He's heading back to Dominican.
Well, I had a big meeting with him and told him that we got a new second baseman joining the ball club, and everybody's was wondering, well, who is it? And Cesar was very surprised. You know, he said, oh, man, I thought I was playing pretty good.
I'm not sure he knew exactly what I was saying. I don't speak Spanish. He doesn't speak English that well, but I could tell from the way he was smiling last night that everything's cool.
Wolf walked away after 2 years in the minors, but has no regrets.
I was a pretty good ball player. Major league prospect? Nah, probably not. Too many sliders on the black, too many ground outs to short. So I thought I gave it everything I got, but you never know. Maybe I'll come back and do it again.
He'll hang up the spikes after tonight. Then Monday, it's back behind the typewriter for a Sports Illustrated story on the experience.
I could write literally 200, 300 pages, and the question will be, how do I capture the essence for every guy out there who's always had this dream?
He'll take a dream with him, one to sleep on.
I tell you, that first base hit to right field with a wooden bat, I haven't used a wooden bat in 15 years. There's nothing sweeter than making solid contact with a nice fastball, and that felt great. I'll remember that as long as I live.
Good hit. Lance McAlister, WSBT Eyewitness Sports.
We're going to loan him a pitcher. You better believe it. Hey, Butch can throw just as hard as Carl. Let me throw. I can't pitch.
With ages ranging from 55 to 78, you won't find any young guns or bonus babies out here. But for the Battelle Center Senior All-Stars, this field of dreams is alive and well.
We've got some pacemakers, bypass, and a lot of bad backs, bad knees. The big thing is come out and have fun. We got one fellow who's had a stroke, and he's going to be an umpire.
I didn't know about it till a couple months ago. I saw it in the paper, and I said, well, maybe I can start my second childhood again and start playing ball.
Right now, they're a two-team league playing on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. They scrimmaged S&S siding contractors tonight, or as they call them, some young kids. What's the action like when they get going out here? Is it pretty good ball?
Oh, yes. We might be old, but we hold our own. We're out here for fun. You know, we're not out here to look at the score or anything. We're just out here to have a ball. 2 is a curve, right?
They're hoping to expand their league to 4 or maybe 6 teams next year, but digging up players is the tough part.
Nobody wants to come out. All summer, all winter, they say yes. But when it comes to getting out of their lazy boy and coming out here, we don't have too much luck.
I saw a lot of my friends that I used to play ball with, but it seemed like they got excuses or something like that, and I don't think that's right. I don't want to get too old too quick.
And for now, this field of dreams is a pretty nice place to be. Lance McAlister, WSBT Eyewitness Sports. Heading into Pittsburgh this afternoon, the Bears season had been a tale of 2 seasons. 4-0 and invincible to start, but 1-4 and shaky of late. So the question in Week 10, which Bears team would show up? Mike Ditka wondering himself as he returned to his hometown where he grew up. What a day for the defense. They ate Bubby Brister alive. Lemuel Stinson, 2 interceptions. Maurice Douglas, an interception. He recovered a fumble as well, and the fridge even got into the act. William Perry chases down Brister twice for sacks on the afternoon. Recorded a fumble recovery as well. Offensively, Neil Anderson, the touchdown here from 4 yards out. Bears on top 4-0. Harbaugh in the air, 13 of 25, 125 yards. The pretty dump off. One-handed grab by Brad Muster for the score. The Bears win in Pittsburgh for the first time since 1945, 20-0 the final. Well, considering the state of affairs in the AFC East, Week 10 became must-win time for the Colts, who were in Buffalo this afternoon. What they needed was a win to keep from falling 3 games off the Bills' pace, but what they got was hammered. Have to go a ways to top this kind of start. Opening kickoff, James Pruitt hit, coughs up the football. The Bills recover. They went in to score from there. Then, get this, next 2 times the Colts touch the football, Eric Dickerson fumbles without being touched. The Bills recover both of them, get a touchdown, get a field goal, led 13-0 before the Colts had run a play successfully from the line of scrimmage. Jim Kelly, 3 touchdown passes. This one to Thurman Thomas. This one coming up to Andre Reed. Meanwhile, the Colts had Tom Ramsey at quarterback, did not get it across midfield until the 4th quarter. They are embarrassed this afternoon. Have the football just 19 minutes. Lose to the Bears a final of 30-7. Around the rest of Week 10, Ray Perkins and the Buccaneers found out why the Vikings have the #1 defense in football. They sacked Vinny Testaverde 7 times, beat Tampa Bay 24-10. The Lions helped out the Bears. They beat the Pack this afternoon at the Silverdome. Sanders with a score here, 31-22 the final. 49ers roll over the Falcons. Joe Montana, 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Rice here, 1 coming up to John Taylor. The Niners a level above the rest of the league. Check out Chris Miller, loses the handle here. Falcons pummeled 45-3. The Rams Rams bounce back, stomp on the Giants today. Purdue grad Jim Everett, 18 straight passes complete during one stretch. Giants handled their second loss of the year, 31-10. Cowboys scored with 2 minutes to go to lead the Cardinals, but the Cards rally. Tom Tupa up top to Elkhart Memorial grad Ernie Jones. On the fly, he makes the catch, goes 72 yards, and the Cardinals win 24-20. On the scoreboard, Steelers have been outscored the last 2 weeks, 54-7. The Colts loss drops them to 4-6. The Lions win. The Buccaneers have now dropped 5 in a row. They lose 24-10. Dolphins rally from 17 back. Pete Stoyanovich out of IU, a 59-yard field goal in this one. Broncos win with a field goal, 1 second remaining. Saints win over New England. Washington lost 5 starters due to injuries before this one, lost 2 during the game, but still beat Philly 10-3. In other action, Falcons pummeled again. Cleveland gets by Seattle 17-7. Cowboys drop to 1-9, while the Rams win 31-10. In the fourth tonight, 14-12. Raiders trail and Cincinnati and Houston tomorrow night in the House of Pain. Well, next stop, college football. The Irish talk about the Mustangs and calling off the Dogs. Well, Lou Holtz could have pulled a Houston yesterday and set out to embarrass SMU. Instead, he took 4 delay of game penalties, called for fair catches, and had Rusty Setzer run out of bounds to avoid a score. In the end, he made the best of a difficult situation.
Not wanted. I wanted them to.
NHL tonight at the stadium. Blackhawks and the Whalers. Dwayne Sutter pokes it home in the first. Hawks on top 1-0. Hartford comes back, take a 2-1 lead, but with 2 seconds left in the first, Adam Creighton, the scramble in front of the net, shoots it home. They're tied at 2. The Hawks come up with 2 late and win tonight at the stadium, final of 4-2. Blackhawks have won 14 of 21 this year.
Okay, great.
Losers of 3 in a row and out of first place for the first time since 1987. The Bears hooked up with the Rams this afternoon. Chicago is looking for solutions to mounting problems, and Mike Ditka walking a fine line between concern and panic. He was upset early, did not like what he saw. Mike Tomczak, 8 straight incompletions, 4 of 16 on the day, 29 yards, and Ditka went to the bullpen, the hook. On came Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan grad, moved the football with little help. Look at the prayer here, going down. The alley-oop pulled in by Neil Etch, but he moved the Bears. And a good day for Brad Muster. A handoff to Muster. He is in from 2 yards out. It was 10-3 Chicago. But how about Harbaugh? 10 of 13 on the day, 157 yards. A beauty here to Wendell Davis. This set up a keeper for Harbaugh on a score. Later, he airs it out to Dennis McKinnon. Up top, this set up a Kevin Butler field goal. Harbaugh was pumped, and the Bears were pumped. The Bears may, in fact, be back. The defense came back this afternoon. Check out Richard Dent, number 95. Bottom of your screen, the flying tattoo of Greg Bell. The defense allows just 10 points today. The Bears end the skid, final of 20-10. Well, the Colts, meanwhile, kicked off a crucial 4-game stretch that will go a long way towards determining their status in the East. Patriots were in town. The first of 4 straight division teams headed the Colts' way. Early on, down 3-0, but watch Jack Trudeau read the blitz, find Andre Rison, the rookie from Michigan State. First NFL touchdown. He's going to celebrate. He hooks up with Clarence Verdun, a little slap, slap, slap. Yeah, they were on top 7-3. The lead went back and forth. 17-13 Colts, 2:25 to go in the game. John Stevens pushes it in for a Patriot lead, 20-17. But back come the Colts, 55 seconds remaining. Dean Biasucci will size it up from 40 yards out. He will connect. We are tied at 20. Raymond Berry then watches Greg Davis miss a winning field goal in regulation. They went overtime, chance for redemption, and he comes through. Celebrating his 24th birthday, Davis connects from 51 yards out. Patriots upset the Colts at the Dome, final of 23-20. Other action in Week 8. Notre Dame grad Steve Berline got the start for the L.A. Raiders at quarterback. 2 touchdown tosses. Raiders beat the Redskins 37-24. Falcons lost to the Saints, but nobody cared. It was prime time. Neon Deion Sanders, check him out, bobbing and weaving down the sidelines. He will go 71 yards, finally run out of bounds. A little upset about it, but Falcon fans in the Superdome were pleased. Now check it out. I'm not sure what it is, but Neon looks good doing it. Now watch him. Here we go. It looked good. And the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders looked good this afternoon. Too bad the players didn't follow suit. On the field, check out the problems. Rhonda could catch this one. Cowboys can't. All kinds of problems. Jimmy Johnson has lost more games to this point than he did in his final 4 years at Miami. And who is Jerry Jones kidding? Phoenix drops Dallas today to 0-8, 19-10 the final. On the board, Bears win, the Colts lose. The Packers slip by the Lions 23-20 in overtime. Browns rally to beat the Oilers 28-17. Bills stop the Dolphins 31-17. Boomer Esiason, 5 touchdown passes. Bengals take out some frustrations on the Buccaneers. 49ers over the Jets. The Raiders win. Saints edge the Falcons 20-13, while Phoenix over Dallas 19-10. The Eagles hold off the Broncos 28-24. Seattle slips by San Diego 10-7. The Steelers bounce the Chiefs, and Monday Night Football, it is Minnesota and the Giants. A year ago, the Oakland A's were derailed by destiny and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tonight, they sit atop the baseball world after completing maybe baseball's most convincing World Series sweep ever last night. How dominating and how convincing? They outscored the Giants 32-14, never trailed in the series. They've waited a year for some redemption. Got it last night. Dennis Eckersley, the final ground out. Brett Butler, the grounder of the second. The final out recorded. The celebration was on. The A's made it look easy. They sweep the Giants, took Game 4 last night, a final of 9-6.
It's just like
golf. Tom Kite will love life. He drops a par putt on 18 in the Nabisco Championship at Hilton Head. Forced sudden death with Payne Stewart. Second hole of sudden death now. Stewart will miss. Kite wins it today. Pockets $450,000. Gets a bonus of $175,000 for being the money leader this year. Now $5.1 million in earnings. Becomes golf's all-time winner. Hockey at the stadium tonight. Blackhawks beat the Capitals. Trent Yanni with the only goal.